Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Committed Critics, a pop culture podcast where we're not only committed to our opinions, but also each other.
Aww.
I'm Ryan Davis.
And I'm Zachary Wright. And Ryan, we're finally back together.
I know, it's been so long.
Did it. Oh, wait, where's Kevin?
Kevin?
Yeah,
You there?
God damn it, guys. God damn it.
When was the last time all three of us were in a room together?
It was a while ago. I'll have to look back at the episodes. It's been a hot minute. But so Kevin is out these next 2 weeks because he is filming a film right now. Crazy.
How does one film a film?
With a lot of teamwork, a lot of patience, and a good amount of money. With all that being said, let's give Kevin our love and props for, doing what he does best, holding stuff together, being the glue.
Good luck, Kevin.
Good luck, my dude. But yeah, so Ryan, what are we talking about this week?
Today, we're going over Young Justice because Zach finally finished watching it.
Bro, no, here's the thing. We finished watching it a while ago. We finally got to record the episode soon. That's what took forever.
Yes.
We're always like, we can always do the Young Justice review. We're like, yeah, we'll keep that on the back burner. Yeah, we got time to do that. Yeah, we'll be fine. It's evergreen. You'll be okay.
Months later,
Ryan, we need a topic because Kevin's gone this week. You want to do the Young Justice? Yeah, sure.
Finally.
So, Ryan, what is Young Justice for our uncultured audience out there? I'm just kidding. For anyone who might not know what Young Justice is.
So basically, Young Justice is about the sidekicks of the Justice League. They form their own team. And because, the Justice League doesn't want to send them against, major villains, they put them on covert operations. So putting them, sending them on an island, but at night. So it's more of a stealth mission. It's not straight up.
So the Teen Titans.
Yes, basically. They're not straight up fighting villains like fist to fist. They're at least going covert until everything goes to hell, and then they fight fist to fist.
It's basically like they're doing the jobs the adults can't do, which is a nice way of looking at it. Also, animated shows,
they're less colorful.
Yeah, and also animated shows don't get the credit they deserve, and so we got to give a little love to our animated shows.
Yes.
So with all that being said,
please, watch
Ryan,
animation, people.
What was that, Ryan?
I said, watch animation, everyone. It's
animation.
Great.
It's great. We have 2 animation shows on this week's docket, so let's buckle in. So, Ryan, go ahead and give your quick spoiler-free thoughts on Young Justice.
Okay, so I might be slightly biased because I watched this show when it first came out.
Slightly. I think you are the definition of bias.
Okay, wow.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Yes, everyone, I'm the definition of bias. I'm sorry. But yes, I watched the show when it came out. I enjoyed Teen Titans when it came out. And so that's when this show came out, it's about young superheroes. I was like, I related to it. I loved it.
Yeah.
And yeah, the cast in each season, phenomenal. I have my favorite set of characters mostly from the OG series, which was Superboy, Miss Martian, and Artemis. But ironically, these are shows. I did not know anything about some of these characters when I went to this show. All I knew was like, hey, there's Robin. Oh, cool. There's Kid Flash.
Hey, I know them. They look familiar.
Who's this black dude? Aqualad.
Aqualad. Icon. Who are you? Yeah, no. I was just busting your balls on the bias part. You loved Young Justice, so I wanted to give you a little bit of crap for it.
That's fair.
Yeah, Young Justice. So Ryan was the one to introduce me to Young Justice. When did we start binge watching it? It was before.
It was a little bit before quarantine. I think it was around February or so.
Yeah, we started binge watching it when you, Jordan, and other friends all lived together in college. Yeah. And so we binge watched it before, during, and after the quarantine, all the way into senior year for me. Ryan had already graduated.
Man, don't make me feel old.
I know, right? We are getting way too old for this crap. Honestly, I enjoyed these iterations of these DC characters more than any live action version, to be completely honest with you.
That's fair. No, I kind of feel the same way.
Like I love the CW verse, Arrow, Flash. They do it way better here in Young Justice.
Oh yeah, we're crossing over characters and actually developing them.
Well, yeah, not even crossing over characters. It just felt more like a comic book, and where these characters belong in the animation, kind of they looks hand drawn. It feels right. Like you see, what were you gonna say? Go ahead.
That's when people don't nuke cities and get absolved for all reasons.
Oh yeah, drop a giant nuke on your teammate's city. Don't tell them for 3 episodes, and then your sins are forgiven. Felicity. Anyway, No, it just feels right because like these DC characters, they thrive when they're being creative, like with a team of Young Justice like heroes who start off as sidekicks and slowly transition into the heroes that they become in the comics, which is really cool and really like interesting to see.
It's cool. It's also cool because they expand the universe as the show goes along. Like,
Right. Yeah. Like getting into the third season, I remember asking like, who's this person? Who's this person? Who's this person?
yeah, because they start off very like, here's the basics. Here's all the people you probably knew.
Right.
Probably already know. And by the third season, yeah, it's like, huh?
Well, it's also like because I had never really grown up with comic books. I've never really grown up with comic books or like the DC like animated shows. So I never watched like the Batman the animated series, Superman the animated series, et cetera, et cetera. So jumping into this, like I had a whole new batch of characters to jump in with, which was nice. Like Robin, like Artemis, like Miss Martian, Superboy, et cetera. Yeah, these are all well known characters, but like it was nice to jump in with them and not like, how much of history of Batman do I have to keep up on? Not much. Like, oh my God. So yeah, it just was an easy jumping off point, which was nice.
Yeah.
So that being said, we're gonna go into a spoiler warning for a how old show, Ryan?
Yeah. The show's been open since 2010. It got canceled in 2012 or 13, and then brought back to life in 2018 or 2019.
So we'll give it a 10-year-old show with 8 years twice removed. So I'll go with that. So spoiler warning, we'll get into some plot points, et cetera, about what happens in the show. So come back. Binge watch the whole thing on, is it on HBO Max now?
HBO Max still. Yep.
That's
3
good.
seasons, everyone. They're
good
very
deal.
short.
And it's super good. Super good.
Yes.
So Ryan, what is only one thing you liked about the series?
What is it? Yeah, I figured as much. Yeah, one thing my favorite thing about it is the characters.
Yeah.
Because one is an expansive cast. Like it starts off with a main core 6 people.
Right. Yeah.
And by season 3, it's like 20, 30 different young superheroes that we're following.
There's a lot.
And like it's cool because I see like you get to you grow up with some of these characters. Like it was cool seeing even like Robin, Dick Grayson. He's the one who most physically changes because he starts off as a skinny 13-year-old boy.
Right.
And by season 3, he's jacked.
He's jacked. He's Nightwing. He's hot.
Yeah. Like he's the playboy of the DC universe. We all know. But like, yeah, the characters are my favorite. As I said, Superboy, Miss Martian, and Artemis were my favorites. And I think that's also because I didn't know most of their histories going in.
Okay, yeah.
Because all I knew about Superboy was like, oh, he's Superboy. He must be like the son of Superman. Oh, he's a clone of Superman. Okay, that's different.
It's way more effed up.
And it's like he is the pinnacle of my favorite characters because he does he goes through the most character development.
Yeah.
From like musclehead to like leader.
It's kind of funny, so they all go through like their main heroes, like kind of like arc as well. Like Superboy goes from a rebellious musclehead to kind of a Superman-like character, but who's more relatable. Dick Grayson goes from a Robin to a Batman-like character in season 3, where he's teaming up with Batman. Like the plan's his, like for everything.
He's more secretive. He's more
keeping his teammates in the dark. Yeah, secretive. So like, and like that whole plan isn't Batman's idea. It's mostly Dick's, which is kind of like, oh, that's kind of scary and dark, but also like it shows how far he's come.
Mm-hmm. Well, I find it funny because it's like I don't want to be Batman anymore. Like he says that in the season 1, like, he's like, I don't want to be the Batman, and he ends up becoming the Batman.
Yeah, honestly, you could debate like who's better and as being Batman in this series, Nightwing or Batman himself. So, and what you were saying,
Kid Flash had development as a Flash.
That's true. That's also true.
And by that I mean he died.
Rip Kid Flash. That was a sad death.
Yeah.
Also because like there was no fanfare behind it. He just kind of ran, and then like the animation just kind of like dissolved him away. Like they didn't have a lot of money for it. So they
everyone keeps theorizing, oh, he's in the Speed Force. He's in the Speed Force. I'm like, no, guys, he's dead.
And the Speed Force, like if you bring back Wally, it's gonna like wreck the sacrifice he made. That's the one person they will never bring back.
Season 3, they teased it because they were like, oh, everyone keeps saying in the Speed Force, we'll make this little joke. And then it's like, no, actually, it was a trick. He's still actually dead. Right,
yeah. And I think that's important because having that character come back would kind of undermine. It's like the whole thing with superheroes. Like superheroes never die. They always come back. So I think keeping him dead is kind of it's a tough pill to swallow for a kid's show. but like it's a good thing because it solidifies that lesson early on.
And he's the one that they all feel like every single character has felt his death throughout season 3.
Right. And you were saying, like, I agree with you how amazing the cast is, right? Watching the transition from these sidekicks and children. So basically, like, it's a metaphor. They're children transitioning into superheroes or adults. It was fascinating. It was cool to watch it. And like you said, the cast is huge. Like, they dive deep into these character rosters, like Icon and Spoiler. I had no idea who they were until you had to explain them to me. Like, I did not realize the Bat family was more depth than just Barbara.
A few Robins.
Yeah, Robins and Barbara. I didn't realize there was like 3 or 4 others, which was crazy.
Yeah.
But based off that, it was. I'm gonna throw not a little shade. I watched the Suicide Squad last night, and there's a lot of characters in that, right? The new one from James Gunn, right? This show handles a lot of characters a lot better than the Suicide Squad did. Not saying, I can agree with that. Just saying. But we will have our review of the Suicide Squad coming out at some point in the near future. Whenever Kevin gets back, because I know he loves James Gunn, we'll want to watch that with us. So
yes.
But with that being said,
they do good characters.
Yes, they did characters well. Anything else about one thing you liked, Ryan? We got a little bit of time before we go to our break.
Just the overall plot. Like, I do like that it definitely kept the plot moving. Plot twists were really good.
Yeah.
There were some I just did not see coming. And the light was actually a good set of villains.
This show handles plot and character at the same time very, very well. Like, it can expand upon the plot while doing character at the exact same time, which is something I like. Doing it hand in hand, which is something I really enjoy. I've been watching Ted Lasso a lot recently, and they do that very well also. Like, building the characters while furthering the story and plot, which is super satisfying.
It's like if you can balance that, you're doing well.
Right, yeah. And it's something that another show we'll talk about next week doesn't do as well, in my opinion, but we'll more on that later. But yeah, this show handles its story, knows what it wants to do, has a direction, and it's really good. Like, because there's a season 4 coming out at some point, correct?
Season 4 was supposed to come out earlier, but obviously COVID delayed. So it should be coming out either this winter or next year.
Yeah, and I'm really looking forward to that because it'll be fun to watch it finally hit that dark side arc that we didn't get.
Yeah, that they've been building up since season 2, where they teased it and then it got canceled immediately and people cried.
I think were you crying, Ryan? Was it you? Were you the one crying?
I was furious. I was mad. I was part of the petition to bring back Young Justice.
I mean, I don't blame you. That's how I felt about my Babysitter's a Vampire.
Yeah, that's fair.
Did you ever watch that show?
I watched it. I didn't finish it, but I watched it.
The season 2 ends like with all of them like in an explosion on a giant cliffhanger, and like my sister and I were like, "What?" And they got canceled and never came back.
You gotta hate those cliffhangers. Gotta hate them.
It was rough. So with all that said, we'll take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll talk about one thing we didn't like or something the series could have done better, and then our final thoughts. So stay tuned.
Starting a podcast? Try a Podbean Unlimited hosting plan. It's what we use here at Committed Critics, giving us the opportunity to have our show on Pandora, iHeartRadio, and even Spotify. You can get your first month of unlimited hosting for free on us by going to podbean.com/committedcrits, just like our Twitter, or by clicking the link in the description. Podbean, the easiest, most affordable option to get started in podcasting.
Don't you wish there was a pop culture review site that appealed to cinephiles, both professional and casual? Well, look no further than crpwrites.com. New content such as movie and TV reviews, film essays, and more are released every week by writers who crave for movies like every moviegoer craves for popcorn. CRP Writes is dedicated to making sure no one is wasting time or money where they shouldn't be. After all, you have to be able to buy your popcorn and eat it too. crpwrites.com. Casual reviews with purpose since 2018.
Hey guys, welcome back to Committed Critics, where we are talking about Young Justice.
Whoa! I love this comic book TV series. So good.
One of my favorites.
I love how colorful it is and the animation.
it is very colorful. I will say the animation has improved each season.
Yeah.
Like season 1, definitely like it's still good animation, but it was also the roughest. And by season 3, you're like, oh man, this is beautiful.
Season 3 looks great. You can kind of tell in season 2 where they start to lose their budget just a little bit toward the end, like with Wally dying, for example.
Where he dissolves into particles.
He really just crossfades out of the frame.
Look, okay, they had no budget because all they wanted was toys, and no one wanted toys. They wanted plot.
Exactly. So yeah, let's go into one thing the series could have done better. Do you want to start, Ryan? Or me to start?
You can start on this one.
Okay. For me, it's the time jumps between the seasons.
That's fair.
Because while it is cool to be like, oh, what happened? Like to always speculate, have that little like gray area. Because the first time jump is what, 5 years? Yeah,
it's 5 years and a lot happens. And like half the characters are in new places that you don't expect.
Right, yeah. And what happens is how much time is it between 2 and 3?
It's like 2 years.
Okay. So the biggest, like the most egregious offense is between 1 and 2 because there is so much cool shit they could have done in between seasons 1 and 2.
You want to know how part of they filled that?
How they filled that?
They did a small comic book little thing that didn't go very well, and they did a video game, which was even worse.
Oh my god!
Yeah, the video game was supposed to be like, oh, here's what happened to Tula. Here's what happened to like the entire OG team.
Great. Okay, cool. I love when they do that. I love when Star Wars does their comic book tie-ins. I have to read it to find out what happened between Darth Vader between 5 and 6. I love it. No, with all that said, though, you could have done a lot of cool shit in between seasons 1 and 2 with like the Young Justice having to run damage control with the Justice League because like the Justice League really effed up like a lot. Yeah. Like
they were brainwashed.
Yeah, they were brainwashed. And it'd be kind of cool for the Justice League to finally like be like, all right, kids, we got it. And the Young Justice is like, no, like y'all fucked up. Like,
yeah, you got taken out by a dude with the bow and arrow.
Right, exactly. And it could be like Young Justice could be like, no, we're in charge now. Like, sit down, parents. Like, I get it, you guys are the adults, but like we're
You're
the
gonna
ones.
tell Batman to sit down.
And no, but I think that'd be a cool like thing for Dick and Batman to get into it.
Oh yeah, no, definitely. Like, I will say the only thing I like about the 5-year time skip is that it does allow some of the characters to transit. Like, it allows Dick to become Nightwing.
Right.
And I think that's part of the main reason they wanted to do is because it was like, how are we gonna eventually bring Nightwing into this? So they were like, 5-year time skip. But like, it did drop the ball on a lot of characters. Like Jason Todd was part of the team,
right?
And
yeah.
He died.
Yeah. You never saw him. It just becomes Tim Drake after that.
Yeah, Tim Drake is just over here like, I'm the new Robin, and it's like no one tries to bring up the fact that Jason got beaten to death by a clown.
I think it would be cool because like I do like how this series is set up. It'd be cool for like a small like Batman limited series, like a Nightwing limited series, like in the same style, same characters, same location, same everything, in between 1 and 2, where it is the Red Hood story. It is Batman and Robin finally like clashing. And that's where Dick is like, no more. I'm done. Like, I'm turning in. I'm going to be my own thing. I'm going to be Nightwing. And
it's interesting because he still is under Batman. Because this one's different because he doesn't exactly. He leaves under the care of Batman. Like, he's no longer his Robin.
Right.
But he still works under him because of the team.
Well, I think it'd be a cool like way like they leave for a second and they come back. So it's like.
Yeah, I get what you mean.
Yeah.
Now.
It'd be a cool thing to see, like, okay, fine, we have to come together to finally pull, like, to fix everything. We have to come together, essentially, not like one's in charge of the other. I think that would be a really cool thing to see between Nightwing and Batman, and seeing the birth of Nightwing. But yeah, sorry for my long spiel about that.
No, that's fine. Like, I completely get, like, one of my problems between season 1 and 2. Yeah. Changing is the fact that we introduced the Rocket for the last episodes of season 1.
Right, yeah.
And then she's just like, yeah, she's part of the league now. And you're like, thanks, we had no development with her whatsoever.
I'm sorry, who are you again?
She's part of the comic books that created Static Shock and Icon.
Pause.
Hang
on. Okay. My time code 2015. What were you saying? You cut out when she was a part of the league.
Oh yeah, she just she became a part of the league, and I mean, you have no development with her whatsoever. Like,
right? Yeah.
turns into part of the league.
Yeah, she pops up and is like, "Oh, hello, I'm here now." So what were some things you could have done better, you think, in your opinion, Ryan, being a big fan you are?
So I know I praised the character development, but in season 2 and first half of season 3, they definitely had rough time balancing some of the characters because season 2 had a major focus on the OG6 and Blue Beetle.
Right.
And that's because it was the whole Reach arc or whatever. So yeah, of course they focused a lot on Blue Beetle.
For sure, yeah.
But the problem is like there's some characters that you just don't, they kind of just there. Like Wonder Girl, she has like a one episode to herself and then she kind of is just there. Like Tim Drake, I know we say he's in there, but he's barely in there. Like he has like a few episodes where he's leader. Like it's some of these characters that you don't care. Lagoon Boy, everyone just hated him because he was dating Miss Martian. That's literally it.
Hey,
like,
that's Yuri Lowenthal to you, sir. We love Larry.
I do love Yuri Lowenthal. I'm sorry you played Lagoon Boy. I'm sorry that you kind of got screwed over in the end because he's not even in season 3. But like, even season 3, like they bring in all these new characters. Like they introduce Spoiler. They introduce Arrowhead. They introduce Orphan, who are like major characters in the comics, and they all get like maybe they only had one episode where they actually did anything.
I do think that some of these characters are more just Easter eggs and cameos, like Spoiler.
I definitely think so.
And Orphan, like they have the one episode where they do something and save someone.
Yeah, but like I love Orphan, and also Arrowhead she's technically in the original Young Justice comic. Arrowhead is what Artemis was. Arrowhead is the one who actually joins. Artemis does not join. They switched it up and created Artemis kind of to take Arrowhead's place.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I mean,
but it's like, yeah.
Oh no, I was gonna say earlier. I said that like this show does a good job balancing characters more than the Suicide Squad James Gunn 2021. I still stand by that, but like because it knows what to do with its main characters very well. And even some of the adult characters like Batman, it knows how to do that. And Black Lightning, like I loved Black Lightning in season 3.
Oh, in season 3, yes.
Yeah, solid.
I liked him. I liked Superman a little bit in season 1, where he's like struggling to come to the fact that he has this clone.
Right.
And everyone's like, he's your son. He's like, I don't want to have him as my son because I don't want my son to be like this.
Right. Yeah, I get that.
So he's like, he eventually says, he's my brother.
I like that. I like that too, but I wish we would see more of that because I remember Batman. I remember Black Lightning. I do not remember Superman being very apparent in this series at all.
After season 1, like he's barely in it because again he's trying to avoid Superboy. But but like season 2, you see a little bit their bond. Right. But again, he goes off to court, and in season 3, he's in space most of the time. So you know the bond is there, but like it's not like they don't show it as much. Yeah. But yeah, I will say like season 3, like the second half of season 3 balances the characters so much better than the first half. Because the first half is introducing all these lesser known superheroes like Geoforce, Halo, Forager, just all these characters that you do not.
I forgot about Forager. I love him. He's so cute.
He's like, Forager, well, I like to do this now. I'm like,
I was so worried that he was gonna die.
I know. I remember the episode with Lobo. You were like, did they?
I'm like, no. I'm like, no, they can't. They can't. Please don't.
No, I do like the season 3 added characters like Cyborg. Like Cyborg, I like that he's part of a team, like a team superhero team again instead of the Justice League. Because I'm sorry, he doesn't belong in the Justice League. He's a teenager with a bunch of grown adults.
Yeah, like, he worked better with Young Justice in compared to like the Justice League not Justice League. Snyder Cut. Sorry, Snyder Cut.
Yeah, he's best friends with Beast Boy. Like they goof off together. I'm like, I like that they did that with it. I like that some like even Halo, Geoforce, the Forge, they had time to shine, and they brought my boy Static back.
They brought Static back, and they brought Troy Baker in for Geoforce, which is crazy.
I know, right?
I love Static and all his friends. Like they were great. They were very well done, and I love their backstories, and I love seeing them. Like, because I didn't really know who. I still remember his name, the Native American superhero.
Oh, Long Shadow, Long Shadow.
Yeah, Long Shadow.
Because they were supposed to be like Easter eggs of the Super Friends TV show that like it was an 80s, 70s show. Okay. So like all 4 of them are supposed to be like Easter eggs. So like Static was supposed to represent Black Vulcan from that show, who was Black Lightning before.
Right.
Long Shadow was supposed to represent Apache Chief and so on and so forth. But like, yeah, I do like that they did that. I like that some of those characters, like Ed, he comes back as a youth counselor and eventually superhero. Like, they did a good job with it.
Yeah, they did.
And the voice cast, as you said, they had a good voice cast. But you recognize that a lot of people kept replaying characters, right?
Oh, yeah. There were a lot of times I'm like, that sounds very familiar. I'm like, where? Oh, I heard her 5 seconds ago as this other character.
Carrie Payton played Aqualad and like 5 other black dudes in that show.
Yes.
I was laughing my head off.
So, Ryan, what are your final thoughts on Young Justice?
Final thoughts? Well, like I said, this is probably one of my favorite TV series of all time. It's definitely my favorite superhero show. Sorry, CW and MCU shows.
That's fair. That's fair.
Like this, I grew up with them. It gave me my love for the DC universe. Yeah. That's why I enjoy DC characters so much more. And I love the changes they made to certain characters' backstories. I love that they brought Static back. And they brought a lot of actual other black superheroes who weren't previously, like I said, Icon, Rocket.
Right, yeah.
Aren't previously shown. Hardware, like, it brings in characters that aren't relatively known. Even some that I didn't know before watching this series. And I'm happy they finally have a chance to come into the light.
Yeah.
Pun not intended.
Oh, God. No, I agree. I love seeing all these characters. I think this is the most comic book TV show there is. Like, it's a watchable comic book. If you are wanting to get into comic books themselves, start here. If you're kind of terrified by the idea of comic books and like, oh my God, there's so many issues, like the normal qualms with comic books, this is a good jumping in point to see what you're getting into. If you like this, I guarantee you'll like comic books. The story is solid. The animation still holds up to this day. It's easy to digest. I highly recommend it, and it's probably the best comic book adaptation of this DC's superheroes, in my opinion. This is probably the best comic book superhero show like out there, in my opinion. Like, because it does. If you
want to see something better than DCEU or CW, watch this.
Yeah, it does all those characters correct, and like there's still shows that I think are better as television live action shows, like Daredevil, for example. Because but that's also like apples and oranges. You can't really compare Daredevil to Injustice because they're just very vastly different. In my opinion, at least.
The only thing I will say you prepare yourself for is it will be very kid friendly in the first 2 seasons. Yeah. But that's because it was on Cartoon Network at the time.
Right. I think it'll be interesting to compare like season 4 when it comes out to like What If from Marvel, from Disney Plus. Yeah. That'll be interesting to compare it to, in my opinion.
Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah. So with all that said, I can take us out, Ryan, if you'd like.
Go ahead.
All right. Well, this has been another episode of Committed Critics. Thank you guys for listening. You can follow us on Twitter at COMMITTEDCRITS. We are also on YouTube, Spotify, Podbean, Apple Podcast under Committed Critics, spelled just like it is on the app you clicked on. Special thanks to our Patreon subscribers, Davey Peppers from Game Mechanics, Ryan Kowalkowski from Ryan Plays Drums, Andy Phillips from Andy Phillips, and Jody Wright. Thanks, Bam. Special thanks to our sound engineer, Jordan Smerman. And Ryan, it's been good to have you back. I've missed you, buddy. I've missed you.
I know, I have too. I've missed doing this. It's been a while.
I missed you the other day because I think you were on an episode and I was not because I had other prior plans. But
yes,
we will slowly get all of our community crits back together and we will assemble and we will see you guys next time. Goodbye.